In this episode, we are going to be looking at an artist named Vincent Van Gogh. Vincent Van Gogh was famous for painting a series of sunflowers. We're going to be looking at a story, or reading a story, that is based on his sunflower paintings. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Follow along and let's get started. Camille and the Sunflowers, a story about Vincent Van Gogh by Lawrence Ann Holt. Where Camille lived, the sunflowers grew so high they looked like real suns, a whole field of burning yellow suns. Every day after school, Camille ran through the sunflowers to meet his father, who was a postman. Together they would lift down the heavy sacks of mail. One day a strange man arrived in Camille's town. He had a straw hat, a yellow beard, and quick brown eyes. "I am Vincent the painter," he said, smiling at Camille. Vincent came to live in the yellow house at the end of Camille's street. He had no money and no friends. "Let's try to help him," said Camille's father. So they loaded the cart with pots and pans and furniture for the yellow house. Camille picked a huge bush of sunflowers for the painter and put them in a big brown pot. Vincent was very pleased to have two good friends. Vincent asked Camille's father if he would like to have his picture painted, dressed in his best blue uniform. "You must sit very still," said Vincent. Camille loved the bright colors Vincent used and the strong smell of paint. As Camille watched, his father's face appeared like magic on the canvas. The picture was strange, but very beautiful. Vincent said he'd like to paint the whole family: Camille's mother, his big brother, and his baby sister. And at last, Camille himself. Camille was very excited. He had never even had his picture taken with a camera. Camille took his painting to school. He wanted everyone to see it, but the other children didn't like the picture. They all began to laugh. This made Camille very sad. After school, some of the older children started teasing Vincent. They ran along behind him as he went out to paint. Even the grown-ups joined in. "It's time to get a real job," they said, instead of playing with paint all day. Camille sat for hours watching Vincent work. It was very hot, but Vincent worked fast. He painted the sunflower fields and even the sun itself. "Here's the sunflower man," said Camille to himself. But no matter how hard Vincent worked, he could never sell any of his paintings. "If I had a lot of money," said Camille, "I'd like to buy them all." "Thank you, my friend," laughed Vincent. One afternoon, as Camille and Vincent were coming back from the fields, some of the children from Camille's school were waiting. They shouted at Vincent and threw stones at him. Camille wanted them to stop, but what could he do? He was only a small boy. At last, he ran home in tears. "Listen, Camille," said his father. "People often laugh at things that are different. But I've got a feeling that one day they will learn to love Vincent's paintings." That night, Camille had a strange dream. He saw Vincent standing in the moonlight high above the town. Vincent had stuck candles on his hat so that he could see. The sunflower man was painting the stars. Early the next morning, Camille was awakened by a loud knocking at the door. Some men from the town had come to see his father. "Listen, postman," they said. "We want you to give this letter to your friend. It says he must pack up his paints and leave our town." Camille slipped out through the back door. He ran down the street to the yellow house. It seemed very quiet inside. Then Camille saw the sunflowers he had picked for Vincent. They had all dried up and died. Camille felt sadder than ever. Vincent was upstairs packing his bags. He looked very tired, but smiled at Camille. "Don't be sad," he said. "It's time for me to paint somewhere else now. Perhaps they will like my paintings there, but first I have something to show you." Vincent lifted down a big picture. There were Camille's sunflowers, bigger and brighter than ever. Camille looked at the painting, then he smiled too. "Goodbye, sunflower man," he whispered, and ran out of the yellow house and into the sunshine. Camille's father was right. People did learn to love Vincent's paintings. Today you would have to have a lot of money if you wanted to buy one. But now, people all over the world go to museums and galleries just to see Vincent's paintings of the yellow house, of Camille and his family, and especially the picture of the sunflowers, so bright and yellow they look like real suns. For this project, you are going to need the following: colouring in pencils or colour X's, a piece of A4 white paper, and a pencil. We're going to be drawing our own Vincent Van Gogh flowers. If you lose track of the steps, you can always rewind the video and watch it again. To draw our table, we're going to be drawing a line 2/3 of the way down the page. This line is going to cross the page. To start drawing our pot, we're going to draw an oval on the table or an ellipse. Above the table, we're going to be drawing another ellipse. This is going to be the top of our pot. To form your pot, erase the top half of the bottom ellipse. Now you can join the two ellipses together to form a pot. Erase the pencil line that intersects, crosses over the pot. To draw our sunflowers, we are going to be using a mixture of circles and ellipses. Remember, ellipses are circles from the side. I'm going to draw 3 different sized circles, a big, a medium and a small, and 2 different sized ellipses, a big one and a small one. Now outline your drawing in black marker or black pencil. To decorate the middle or the irises of the sunflowers, use a series of black and brown dots. To fill in the petals or the outside of the flowers, I'm going to use red, yellow and orange. You can use your fingers to smudge the colors together. Remember, red and yellow will make orange. You can fill in the stems and the leaves now and draw an original pattern of your own design onto the pot. Fill in some colors for your table and your background now. Well, it certainly was fun creating our own Vincent Van Gogh sunflowers. I particularly liked how we created a pot using ellipses and how we created our sunflowers with a circular center. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I'm going to see you in next week's episode.